At that point, I was just hopeless. I didn't know what to expect. At that point, I was telling the other guy, okay, this money that you want, how much do you want? Let me just give you money. And by that time, my sister was already calling me. So they gave me the phone to talk to my sister. And I picked the call. She said where, she was asking me where I was. I couldn't talk because they were there. They were looking at me. So they said I should tell my sister that she should send 300,000 immediately. That if she's not able to send the money in the next like 10 minutes, they don't know what's going to happen. So I told my sister. She said, what kind of stuff is that? Where are you? I said, I cannot explain. I don't even know where I am. She kept calling over and over again. And I told her, I was telling her to send me money. So she asked for the account. And I just told her to hold on. That I will tell her. So at that point, I don't know, everything just happened so fast.
We've heard of cases of one chance and people not making it out alive. Do you want to feel like it's grace or that particular thing you were meant to survive? Like, how do you see that perspective?
What would you call it? It's love. It's mercy. Second chance to life.
Mm.
It's it's more than grace. I wouldn't call it grace because everybody has grace. It's mercy.
Hello, everyone. Once again, welcome to the Experience Show here on TikTok TV. And my name is Mogu Princess. You know how we do it here on the Experience Show. We bring you everybody and anybody to tell you what their story seems like. Now, those stories are stories that may also be palatable to them, and sometimes it may just be horrible experiences. And from the last guest I had, you had a lot of stories about music producers and stuffs. Today, I have something in a little bit of a different line, not really about the music industry, but something more different, like her story. I don't really want to dive into it. She just wants to create suspense for everybody. And I hope she creates the exact suspense she's looking for. And with me, I have Doris Anthony, a student of River State University studying computer science. Isn't she just beautiful? I was telling her that in case she wants to erase my own bad experience, she should give me one of her brothers. But then she said she could not vouch for any of them. And it's so sad because I was literally probably, anyway, let me not expect anything. But yes, I have Doris with me and she's going to be telling you her own personal experience, her own personal encounter. Now, those stories are there to either encourage you or to teach you how to navigate in order to stay away from trouble or in order to build your own life as a human being and probably not feel bad. Now, it's not going to be as that was well last week, but it's certainly a story that you would want to hear. So over to you, beautiful. I just love, I don't know how to express it. I just love how calm she is. I'm just imagining hearing the story and begin to compare both of them. Like the story matches with the person, but then I hope I hope it does anyway. So the floor is yours, Doris.
Yes. Okay. So this happened sometime 2022 around August. So this is how it happened. I was actually like on my way back from work about 9:30 to 10 thereabout.
In the ninth?
Yes. I closed late that very day, so I usually do. Most of the time, closing time was 10, but because of the road and all of that, so they let me go like 9:30. So that particular day, I was coming home from work. I was very tired. I worked the whole day and I was tired, so and hungry as well. I think the food was so I bought parfait
Mm.
and Ever Road now. Yes, just even before that Golden Tulip Hotel, that junction right there.
Mm.
So most of the taxis coming from Waterlines towards Momola Road. Yeah. So there are other people there, about maybe 5 or 6 people also standing there waiting for taxi to come around. So because I was hungry and I was eating my parfait and I was on my phone, I wasn't really paying much attention
At
to.
that time.
Yes.
Mm.
Because I felt like there are other people around. So there's nobody, like I wasn't really thinking. Let me say that. I wasn't really thinking. I was just hungry, so I wanted to just get home and I was tired. So a taxi came around and I flagged it down and it stopped and I entered. At the front, the taxi was empty, you know, nobody except the driver. So I entered the front seat. But the red flag would have been that he didn't pick anybody else but me. That would have been the red flag. But I just wanted to get home. That was it. So getting towards that Rumola Road, he was like, he's going to take Rumola Link Road, that he needs to pick other passengers. He first asked me, first question he asked me, am I going towards Eliozu? I'm like, yes, that's where I'm going to. He's like, okay, he's going to go through Rumola Link Road so he can get other passengers. I'm like, okay, I wasn't paying really much attention. Getting in front of Carlos Miller, that's opposite, direct
Mm.
opposite Presidential Hotel. A guy entered at the back. That was when the whole atmosphere got dark.
Changed.
So I started feeling some type of way, like something is about to happen. So when he got to the junction to divert to Rumola Link Road, that was where my mind now, like, I was like, why are you following this Rumola Link Road? Even if you want to like pick other passengers going towards the you're supposed to like use straight towards Air Force. You understand?
Mm.
So why are you diverting towards this way? Before I'm even done talking, he was already diverted and he was already like winding up the whole window
Glasses.
from his own side. So I was trying to like push the door open and the door was not opening. So the guy behind me just tied my mouth, and that was the last thing I remembered.
Wow.
Everywhere went dark. It's crazy. Everywhere went dark. So we got to a point, the car kept moving. So I didn't try not to scream because I didn't want to like get them angry or anything. I was just trying to do whatever they asked so I won't get hurt. So in my mind I felt like highest they're just going to take my phone and take my money and then let me go. But that wasn't the case. So when we got to a particular place, I don't know where, everywhere was already dark. The car stopped and the guy behind me and the driver was talking. They were speaking Ikwe. Me, I don't understand Ikwe. I don't know if it's Equatorial, but it sounds like a Rivers language. So I didn't understand what they were saying, but they were having a conversation and then they stopped. They untied me. They asked me for my phone and I gave them my phone. They asked me for money, that I should transfer money from my account. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know how I came up with the story. And I started with the story like, I don't have any money, that I went to the bank today, that my brother used my account to do something. So the account got frozen, that I can't access any money. And the only money I have in that account is about 8,000 naira. That's what I said. So they didn't believe me, you know, they hate me actually. So I insisted on my story. I stood on my story. I was still saying the same thing. Oh, I don't have any money, all of that. And he tied me back. He kept driving. And funny enough is that when I entered this cab, because it rained that day, poured heavy. So when I entered the cab, I noticed that the car door, the knob was slippery, and under my foot was also slippery, like maybe water or something. But I didn't pay much attention to it. I felt like, oh, it probably rained today. Maybe he carried other passengers
Passengers.
that was wet or something like that. So when we got to a place and when they took my phone, they were searching my bag and they on the torchlight. I just realized that the whole place under my foot was just like blood. I didn't think much about it at that point. And I think that's when I started getting scared that it's not just money that they were after. So the guy behind he's getting very angry. I don't know what it seems like they were arguing because all this time that they've been driving, like we were driving for more than an hour
Mm.
and they've been talking and arguing and I don't know what it was. So he started asking me some questions like where I'm from. I told him I'm from Olu. That's what I said. I told him I'm from Olu. I told him my name. He asked me about he was just asking me stuff and I was just, you know, trying to be sound as nice as I can. And he was like, oh, that he's my brother. That's what
Mm.
he said. I said, so you're from Olu? He said, no, that he's not from Olu. That he can't tell me, but he has done some jobs at Olu, so he understands the language. He has been there for a few years, so he knows some persons there. So that I'm like a sister to him.
Mm.
So if I know what is good for me, I should just give that guy whatever he asks me and try not to fight them. He was now speaking Igbo to me and trying not to fight him or anything. So this other guy now behind now got angry because I don't know. I think he wasn't understanding the Igbo. So he now got angry, like he was asking
That means
what
if he
we were
was not
talking
understanding the
about.
Igbo, that means the original language they were speaking was not Ikwere, because
I don't
anybody who
even know
speaks
what they
Ikwere
are
should.
speaking.
Okay.
That's the truth. I don't know, but it's that to me because then I came to Port Harcourt 2021. So I felt like if the Korean they are speaking, that's what it sounded like to me. So, but probably not. So he was getting angry and they were exchanging words. And at some point, they stopped and they came down from the car and they were standing by the door. They were exchanging words, talking. So I now saw a guy and a girl. They were holding hands. They were just walking on their own, and the whole road was empty. There was nobody else. So I tried to like get their attention. I was using my hand to hit the window. I was trying to get their attention. Then the guy passed and came back, like as if he was coming back to the car. Then the girl just dragged him out
Hmm.
and both of them they just ran.
Hmm.
They
They
just
were
ran.
scared
Do
now,
you understand?
obviously.
And I was at that point I was just hopeless. I didn't know what to expect. At that point I was telling the other guy, okay, is it money that you want? How much do you want? Let me just give you money. And by that time my sister was already calling me. So they gave me the phone to talk to my sister. And I picked the call. She was asking me where I was. I couldn't talk because they were there. They were looking at me. So they said I should tell my sister that she should send 300,000
Hmm.
immediately. That if she's not able to send the money in the next like 10 minutes, they don't know what's going to happen. So I told my sister. She said, "What kind of stuff is that? Where are you?" I said, "I cannot explain. I don't even know where I am." So she kept calling. They ended the call. She kept calling over and over again. And I told her, I was telling her to send me money. So she asked for the account. And I just told her to hold on, that I will tell her. So at that point, I don't know, everything just happened so fast. But the guy, the one that entered later, the one that tied me, the one that hit me first, now dropped. So the guy now carried me. He said he's not going to hurt me. That I can't even remember what he said, but he told me he's not going to hurt me and all of that. That he's just going to give that guy my phone and the rest of my properties, so he can compensate for the money that I was supposed to pay. That if I'm observant enough, I would have seen that it's not even money that they're after, but I don't look like what they are after. Because he was asking me, at first when they carried me, when they were hitting me, he was asking me, oh, where I went, they did not give me money. Where I went to do hookup, they did not give me money. I said, I did not do any hookup. I'm literally coming back from work and I'm still wearing my uniform. You understand? So he said, oh, that I don't look like what they are looking for. So that he's going to let me go. But I'm going to promise him that I'm not going to say anything to anybody. That when I leave this place, I should just keep my mouth shut and pretend that none of this ever happened. So I said, okay, of course I was going to say, okay. I said, okay, I was promising him everything. I even told him that I can't, like, as I'm looking at you right now, I don't even remember what your face looked like.
Hmm.
I don't know anything. Like, I will not tell a soul. Like, even if I see you on the road,
You'll not
nope,
even talk.
like, I will not even look at you two times.
Hmm.
I cannot even glance at you two times. Like, I'm not going to say anything. Just let me go.
Hmm.
Just let me go. And I was crying and everything. So we got to a place. He already untied me, and the other guy dropped. He was with my phone. So we got to a place, and he told me that, oh, that we are going to get to a particular area. That when we get there, I should just like hide myself. I should just hide. I'm like, okay. So we got to one place, and I did as he asked. I was hiding at the back seat, and he came down from the car. He crossed the road. There were other people there. About I cannot number them, but I know there were other men there, and I heard voices. They were talking, and after talking, he came back to the car and he drive me back. This whole journey took about, because when before I go home around 4 a.m. This thing they carried me by 9, and I go home around 4 a.m. So we drive for hours, like through bushes and places I don't know that I've never been before. So finally we got to Rupoku. I don't even know how we got there. We got to Rupoku at Market Junction. I think that's what it's
Hmm.
called. We go to Market Junction
That's
and
quite a distance.
yeah. and he gave me my phone. He gave me my phone. He gave me my money. I think I had a little change, and he told me to go. So he now said that he's going to make sure that I get home safe. He now escorted me. He came down from the car. He escorted me to that market junction and tell me not to enter all this keke bus. He said I should enter the other normal taxi. He spoke to the taxi man. The man carried me, got to Elios, and he already paid the taxi man
Is it
actually.
for real?
Yes, he paid the taxi man and gave me my phone. Before then, before I even got home, my sister has already called everybody she
Body.
knows. You understand? My daddy was panicking because my dad doesn't stay in Port Harcourt. Everybody was panicking. So I got home. My whole clothes was stained with blood, but they were not mine. So that was like the scary part of it. Even the wig I was wearing was gumming, like, and the bloods were not mine. So when I go home, even our landlady, everybody was outside waiting for waiting for me. So the whole thing felt so unreal because even when I go home, I was still pinching myself. I wanted to make sure that
You're still alive.
yes, like it felt like a dream. Maybe I didn't make it home. Maybe I was still thinking I was going to make it home. It didn't feel like I made it home, but I did. And the next morning, that thing happened on a Wednesday. The next day was on Thursday. There's this adoration that we used to go at St. Peter's Catholic Church at that Elios. So the next morning, by 8 a.m., my daddy was already in Port Harcourt. We went to the market, we bought yam, bought chicken, and we went to church and we did
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
I can imagine the Thanksgiving. Because I think you left for me alone with to be more than Thanksgiving. Like I'll become a reverend sister, dedicate
Even
my
when I
life to
got
God
to church, my daddy insisted I should take the mic
and tell
and
the
I
testimony.
need to tell the story. It's not something I just need to tell. Oh, God did
Thank
this for
you.
me. I need to like announce it in the presence of people for people to hear. Like it sounds so unreal. If it doesn't happen to me, I cannot even believe it. Like you go through that such thing and they just let you go with nothing. They gave me back my phone, give me back everything and dropped me, even escorted me and spoke to the taxi and to make sure that I will get home safely. And sometimes when I'm on the road, I still try to look out for that particular taxi because I feel like I can still remember what the man looked like.
Definitely.
So anytime I'm going anywhere, I'm always like, maybe I can see him one day. I wonder, I don't know where he is, if he's still doing the same thing or if he still hurts people. I don't know how many people that has been that line. I don't know whose blood is that. I don't know if the person made it out alive. I don't know if maybe the person just gets injured and gets to get back to their family. But I hope so.
Okay. I think the suspense we're trying to create. Nice one. She created it. So now, has this event affected your choices of what kind of cab to enter, or how do you do it?
Of course. I don't remember since 2022. I think it's last year, 2024, that I started having the courage to take public transport again. If it's like not boats, I don't. Most of the time I just have few cabmen that I work with. No matter how long it has to take, I'll wait for them. The trusted ones, you understand? Like it took me time to recover from that shock, from that trauma. It took me time. I couldn't look at people the same because he looked so innocent. He looked like a married man. He would have kids. Maybe his kids doesn't even know what he does for a living. Maybe his wife doesn't even know. You know, and I don't know.
So we really heard of people who we call it one chance.
I think that's what it is.
I wouldn't want to call your own one chance because
No, I don't think
because
it's one
the
chance.
yeah for me I would want to explain one chance as there being people in the cab before you entering.
My sister would call them ritualists
Hey,
or
yes.
maybe organ
Organ
harvesters.
harvesters. Yeah, because for you to find blood in the cab and the blood is not yours, definitely if you get to perceive an animal blood, you would know it's an animal. And the texture of the animal blood and that of humans are different.
Even if it's animal blood, who will leave animal
In
blood
the
in their
car.
car?
In the car. So we've heard of cases of one chance and people not making it out alive. Do you want to feel like it's grace or that particular thing you were meant to survive? Like, how do you see that perspective?
What would you call it? It's love. It's mercy. Second chance to life. It's it's more than grace. I wouldn't call it grace because everybody has grace. It's mercy.
I was telling you behind the scene that definitely they kidnapped me. My mom would tell me, don't give them my number because see, one thing about late coming, this story you've actually said now has made me understand what my dad would always tell me. Anything beyond 8 p.m., you're not supposed to be outside. If I'm out of the house, I think my curfew time when I was in university was 4 o'clock. Anything that makes you stay outside beyond 4, you explain. Even 10 minutes past 4, you would explain. Now, I began to work because we go for shows, events. My dad would be like, are you not coming back? I like, Daddy, the show has not started. He said, are you not coming back? Do your red carpet and come back. People that want to carry the camera should carry. So now I'm beginning to see why. Because every time it's going to be like, these things are happening every day. You see young girls, organ harvesters. Sometimes you even see, it happens to people you don't even expect to happen to. Like now, they saw it and you're thinking you're a hookup girl.
Do you understand? Because if eventually the enemy's plan works, that
Mm-hmm.
nobody will believe that this
You're
girl
not a
was just
hookup girl.
coming back from work.
Yes.
Everybody will just
Nah,
start
them.
believing. Do you understand?
Nah, them. So that kind of, we should stop having that kind of mindset because, first of all, a hookup girl will be dressed as she wants to be addressed. You're basically in your work uniform. But at the end of the day, if God forbid, if that kind of thing should happen, they wouldn't even find you with clothes. So the only thing they will say
you
is
understand?
hookup girl. So wow, I'm Britain, and I'm alive. Please, Daddy, I will respond to anything you say. I'll be back home by 6 p.m. 7 p.m. is a no-go area because sometimes I even get scared. I decide to trek.
You know, sometimes I feel like it's not just about night movement, or it can happen to anybody at any time.
But nighttime is more dangerous.
Do you understand?
Because
Yeah.
if that kind of thing was happening at that time, you couldn't even see that this was in the car. I guess that if you had seen that stuff in the car, you would have actually come down earlier. Yes, at least those times you're on the road, you'd have actually been able to flag down. But because you were hungry, that's why
I was just on my phone.
I've learned not to press my phone in the bus. Like, I want to be that hyperactive. I'm not I want to be like, you're pressing in the bus. People are looking at your phone. You don't. Because me, I do sometimes. Somebody's pressing them. My eyes are going to fall on your phone. And somebody else is watching you press that phone. You that have a very, like, big phone and you're going to now be. I said, no, the best thing, put an earpiece in my ear. Then put my phone inside my bag and listen to music while I'm talking to somebody. But I feel that fright. Even if they say, go to the back and sit down. So I want to stay in front. Let me sit in front. So yes, Doris has actually shared her story, and I would want to say that a lot of people have been victims of this thing, and we call it one chant in Port Harcourt or in Nigeria. But it happening in Port Harcourt is not something I would say is new. It's been happening. I know one of my aunts has actually fallen victim to this, but I think she noticed early, and then she started, because my auntie, I say sometimes she'll be like put on the craze. So she began to get that Arab attitude that,
Really?
you know, I say when you live in DOB, you begin to, you're not normal. So when she noticed it, she just put her phones in her bag, tightened up the bag, and she was like, we go die here today. Oh. That day when I want to die, the only thing she did was to grab the driver by the neck. I think we will die in this car. She want to kill me. Let us die together. They had to like stop and throw her out. Like, this is a bad market. So we have to be hyperactive even when we get into situations like this. You need to get those safety kits, the cutter, all those things that now people are selling them online. It's everywhere. So we need to be safety conscious and get these things. It's so expensive. Even if you're going to your own boyfriend's house, because we've seen boyfriends who meme their girlfriend.
Oh.
If you're going anywhere, Bobo's house or Alaji's house or Sugar Daddy's,
with one eye.
you want to, in fact, don't even sleep. My friend called me and she was like, she went outside, she came back. I said, did you sleep outside? She said, I said, how did you do it? Because even me, say I'm going outside, I'm coming back before, I'm not sleeping. I'm not scared though, but I'm taking safety precaution.
You don't sleep in your boyfriend's house?
I don't, will I when you, I hope my sister that I'm looking for husband in your house, I will not sleep, except you do the needful and come to my father's house. There's no need sleeping in your house. So at least to avoid some uncertain temptations, I just come, I visit, I go. So sleeping. So yes, indeed, this actually story gave me like chills, and I couldn't imagine myself losing a beautiful girl like this. The other beautiful girls that have been lost, some of them have been very unlucky, but like she said, it's love, it's mercy, it's second chance. Let's stop doubting the mercy of God. Yes, this is the Experience Show on TikTok TV, where we give you highlights of different background stories of what people have gone through and how they scaled through, how they survived. Their survival could actually teach you how to survive better as a human being. So until I come your way on other episodes, I have more intriguing episodes coming up, but we're going to call this a wrap because Doris has given us a beautiful story. So until I come again on this platform to give you more experience, this is goodbye from me to you. Bye.
You started feeling we have a sound.
Exactly.